January in 2011. You'd just been promoted at 32 years old to the president of Cinnabon.
Yeah.
And as I read that, I'm thinking, that's got to be pretty exciting at 32, a global brand, your first presidency, until I turned around and looked at the hill you were looking at. I mean, I cannot put myself in your shoes, but I'm looking at it and saying, it's franchisees in 61 countries. It's customers who can only visit you once in a while because you're in airports and malls.
Right.
Not really good growth numbers in terms of the franchise over time, which means underinvestment usually. A bunch of small businesses that it's very difficult to get on the same page. And with all the challenges, you're trying to sell a large, delicious, yummy, but 800 plus calorie cinnamon roll to a bunch of health conscious people. With each passing day, they become more health conscious. Have I missed it?
And the only part of the uphill battle I would add is that it was right at the tail end of the recession. So to that, compressed discretionary income, much fewer people traveling and shopping. So that was just the frosting on the bon, if you will.
The hill wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
And so it had to be one of those days where, like, the good news, the president, and the bad news is, oh my God, what a hill. Yeah. And all you did, it seems to me, over the next 4.5 years was grow it from $300 million to $1.3 billion. One of the most interesting growth stories of the last decade. And I'm thinking, I've got to know, when you're back in 2011 and you're looking at that hill, how did you think you could create a common sense of purpose among all those stakeholders to try to make this happen?
You know, I think part of the way that I felt confident in the business and the brand, you know, two different things, but related, the business and the brand's potential was just in how good the product was and is. It is incredibly differentiated. It is a cinnamon roll the size of your face, but it is also ooey gooey and I mean, truly delicious, like worth the discretionary calories. And so you're never at a disadvantage when product is that good. And the other confidence building piece was the strength of the franchisees. There were, you know, business partners that had been through a really big rough patch through the recession. We're seeing all the dynamics you described in the marketplace, yet they were committed to the brand and they executed this fresh, baked from scratch, all day, everyday product with excellence. And so when you have a foundation that good, it's not hard to sort of reconstruct and edit the house. And then add to it, there were members of the team that were equally as passionate as the franchisees. And so all the ingredients of good stuff to come were there. They just weren't necessarily being mixed in the right way and baked at the right temperature and pulled out at the right time.